Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Literacy Reset. I'm super excited about this. I cannot wait to share with you guys and get into our first person on this mission of resetting literacy. Before I even jump in, I just want to say I'm super happy about not only just this series, but the attention that literacy is starting to get from both schools and families, as we can all see that our children need to come first, and a reset is so necessary. And so let's go ahead and get into this. Most homeschools will burn out is not just because of curriculum. It's caused by lack of design. And today we're going to reset something that's foundational. Serena Williams was not educated for attendance. She was educated for dominance. And that distinction, ladies and gentlemen, that's one decision, is what separates reactive homeschooling from strategic education. Welcome to the Literacy Reset, 30 days of raising architects. This is not about proving homeschooling works. It's about proving intentional design changes everything. All right, let's get back into this. So, I actually do have something I do want to share. Let me add Miss Serena up to the stage with me, chair. Let me see. How am I? How's this looking for the peoples? All right. I think we can go ahead. So, with Serena, she was pulled from traditional school around age 9, not because education didn't matter, but because her parents understood something powerful. If you want elite outcomes, you cannot build on a scattered structure. Her days were designed around mastery, training blocks, repetition, recovery, focus. Her academic learning didn't disappear. It was structured around her larger vision. Now, this is where I want people to hear me. Most families structure academics around a default system. Serena's family structured education around purpose. That's different. She wasn't doing 8 subjects shallowly to just check off boxes. Her life was built around depth, and depth is what creates dominance. So, now that I've said that, here is the principle that we need to actually give some credence to. Hold on, y'all. Y'all know I got the little baby here. And so, depth beats diffusion. When attention is scattered, mastery is delayed. When attention is concentrated, growth accelerates. In homeschooling, diffusion looks like jumping in between curriculums mid-year, rushing through subjects to cover anything, confusing activities with progress. Architects don't build like that. Architects design for load-bearing strength. If reading comprehension is shallow, if writing is rushed, if thinking isn't trained, everything else will weaken. Serena didn't become this a great athlete and great woman because she did a little bit of everything. She became this greatness because her training had depth. That, ladies and gentlemen, is your reset. Here's how you can apply this immediately. And I want everyone to peep my structure because I'm going to always share with you tips that you can do immediately when it comes to homeschooling or regular classroom at this point too. I don't want to leave anybody out because this conversation is about our babies and needs to really focus on that no matter what the setting is. So, first, identify your daily literacy death block, not 20 rushed minutes, a protected block. Reading, discussion, writing. Reduce scattered transitions, fewer switches, more immersion, right? How are we getting the most out of this text, out of this story, out of this passage, out of this writing, out of this discussion? Stop measuring progress by completion. Start measuring it by actual mastery. These are some questions for you to definitely ask. Can my child explain what they read? Can they articulate ideas clearly? Can they revise their writing thoughtfully? That's literacy architecture. You are not trying to get through the year. You are building a thinker, and thinkers require depth. Thinkers require layers, right? And so I want you to really take that into consideration when you are planning out this next literacy block that your child is going to do. And if you're in the classroom, how are we making the most out of this curriculum that we do have, that these children are able to answer these questions and go through this process, and that we're not skipping over anything because we want them to be the best that they can possibly be, right? So before I even get there, hold on for me, friends. The difference between homeschooling reactively and then doing, a plan is designing first. Architects design first, then they build. If you don't design your intentionality or your plan in depth on exactly what it is that your child is going to be focusing on for the year, and I kind of go into that in other videos and stuff like that about the intensity around their interests and building around that, then when we don't plan with intention, we start to guess by default, and guessing leads to burnout. That is not what we want for anyone who is working with children, whether at home or at school, right? They need to see us at our best, or at least giving our best when it comes to the time block of literacy. And so I want people to think about that. I want people to think of, how am I making sure that I'm giving depth to what my child or what my students are learning? If today's episode made you realize that you've been spreading effort instead of building mastery, that's not failure, that's awareness. And awareness is where design begins. Inside my Offer as Homeschool Studio, I'm building it out on school. We will discuss all of these things in deeper layers. And I actually have a roadmap intensive where we architect what your child needs to know, learn, and do within the year. And in that framework, you can apply it to different curriculums. You can create your own curriculum, but it's making sure that we are giving depth to your child. And so with the homeschool, and let me put it up here because, I want to be on the same page here. Identifying your child's learning style, aligning with your child's state requirements, mapping the academic year intentionally, designing literacy as the foundation. I don't want anyone that's coming into the homeschool space to guess. And I'm using my 20 plus years of knowledge, trying things out, building something separate from the school system because I saw the gaps. I mean, technically, that's how Reading for Smiles comes about, right? There were gaps that the school couldn't fill and parents were too busy to fill. And so here I came in as adding to the space and being an advocate for children and for the families that we served in this arena. And so I got tired with some certain things that were happening in the school system. And once I had my son, I was like, oh, yeah, we're going in the homeschool direction. I already know what you need to know. And so now I'm sharing that knowledge and expertise with other families who want to do the same thing. And I feel like we're all on the same page. We just want the best for our children, to set them up for success, whatever that looks like for them. And this is the space to do that. And so I don't want anyone to continue guessing. I want everyone to be able to start building. And if you're ready to architect your year instead of survive it, then definitely reach out to me about the Roadmap Intensive. And on March 3rd, I will open up the school community and keep that link in the description on the videos in the reset. Today we reset depth. I'll see you in episode 2 tomorrow.